Could you talk a little bit more about the welcoming? That's something that's really difficult for me because it's not something I can do. It sounds welcoming, sounds so active.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not something you can do. It's very misleading when I say, when you hear welcome, but it's when we say that, or when I say that, or when, Francis, my teacher, used to say that, welcome the totality of your experience. And of course, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. How do I do that? It's true, you don't. It's more that you discover that it's already a fact, that everything that arises is welcomed by nature. Or maybe welcomed is too positive a word, but everything that arises is allowed by nature. Including the resistance, including the desire not to welcome, or the feeling that I am not welcoming is arising, is allowed. So when we say welcome, it's really to challenge. Really, when I say welcome, I think what I mean is be willing to feel what is here now. And if it's a difficulty, if you're feeling a difficulty to welcome, that's what's here now. I think what is meant by that is multiple. So it's also when you hear that welcome your experience, remember in your case that it's already, you don't have to do anything. It's already welcome, everything. Nothing could be not welcome. It's just the fact of creation. What could be unwelcomed? However, there can be a feeling of not welcoming. It's true of all of us. There's a very strong feeling of not welcoming, of resisting. It's called resistance, right, in this jargon. So when there's resistance, I would say maybe to acknowledge that, oh, there's resistance here, and to watch that tendency to want to get rid of the resistance, to want no resistance. So then that means that there's a resistance to resistance, and then we're in the cycle, resisting to resisting.
Yeah,
so,
it feels like an endless fight.
Yes,
it is. I want to welcome and I can't. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just don't do anything at all. Don't even get into that game. Don't get into the game. Am I welcoming? Not well. I want to welcome. I'm resisting. Just do your very best to feel, and maybe also to feel the pain of this, because there's a deep suffering here. It's a very deep suffering that you're sort of trying to articulate or sharing, which is this helplessness of that one who's supposed to welcome, but is itself feeling itself is not feeling welcome, or is feeling helpless, or it's you're right in the heart of your suffering at that moment. And so there's another approach, another way would be to fall on your knees, literally, to, in a way, the way of devotion, the way of saying, I'm not succeeding here. I am failing. I don't know how to welcome. I don't know how to not welcome. I don't know any of this. I don't understand it. And that sometimes takes you to something more, I want to say, emotional, which in a funny way can be so much easier to welcome, because now you feel your heart. Now you feel something. You see what I mean? It's less abstract, it's less conceptual, it's more like a feeling of anger or grief, and then you there it's easier. There you can let it, you taste it, you allow it,
Yeah, this touched me a lot. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you can explore that now. But it's all artificial. I just want to add that all these ways of suggesting, they're sort of artificial, really. Yeah, and maybe the fact that you're touched when you hear me say fall on your knees, that's because probably it's the best way for all of us, just fall on our knees and realize that nobody can welcome in a way, and no, we can't do any of this. But nevertheless, anyway, enough said.
Thank you.